Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back. We are looking at the NBA picks for today, 2:30. We have basketball in the afternoon, running all the way up until 9 p.m., so it's going to be a great day. So let's get it started. You can hit the like button down below and subscribe if you have not already. I've been looking into this slate pretty much ever since the pricing dropped like a couple weeks ago, also on Fanduel too, but I kind of know exactly where I kind of want to approach it. So hopefully, no, we don't get any scratches today. So let's get started. You can follow me on Twitter if you want to tap the DFS process for updates and stuff, and just to stay more in touch. You can hit the bell icon if you want to get notified whenever I post. And for baseball today, I might have a video out, and if I do, it'll probably be after this basketball slate tips off. If not, I might just take a day off for making a baseball video, just because everybody's going to be focused in on this NBA slate. So today, 6 games. That's like a perfect size to late. Also, yesterday, hopefully you guys got in on some of that overlay on both sites. It was pretty easy to cash because they were barely half full, the Millie Makers. So that's just some of those days are just where you just put in all like 150 and just because very small chance you're going to lose everything. So today we have a ton of good options to pay up for. Harden at 11,000. Luca looks really good. Westbrook is 9,400. They said that he might he played 26 minutes. There was some concern that he could be limited just because he missed something or was late reporting something like that. So there was some concern. I'm not sure if that's still gonna hold today, but either way, he's pretty cheap at 9,400, and he was like carrying the Rockets for parts of the year. So you could look at him if you want. Not really interested in Devin Booker just because I think the Sun said that he might be limited, or they weren't gonna put him push him to so many minutes in the summer in this restart. So if he's not getting his full minutes, then what's he gonna get you? And then we have Kemba Walker is on a minutes limit, so he's out of play. And John Morant looks good at 7,000. You're not getting any savings on him. I think he's priced exactly where he should be. The other point guard, Tyus Jones, is out, so he should get some more minutes, maybe. But we know with the Grizzlies, they like to play a lot of guys, but they really need to get into the 8 seed and hold on to the 8 seed. They have the 8 seed, they need to maintain it. And so I think Morant's probably going to play 30 plus minutes. They're like 32, 34 minutes now. Bledsoe is out, so that makes George Hill a pretty good value play at 3,800. Also, Pat Connaughton is out. And then other point guards to consider, you have Fultz. Not really that interested in him at 51. Chicoza, 39 is decent, but he might not even start. So if he comes off the bench, who knows how many minutes he'll play. But I think you could look at him if you need some savings. But I think you don't need to play him because why would I play Chicoza coming off the bench against a tough matchup when I could just play George Hill starting? I know Hill sometimes they mess with his minutes, but I feel like 3,800 without Bledsoe, he should benefit. Obviously, starting and should see good minutes. They don't really have another point guard unless they want to play Chris Middleton at point guard. They could play some Giannis and have him handle the ball, but I could see Hill playing like close to 30 minutes and handling the ball, getting some assist opportunities. I think he looked pretty good at that price point. At shooting guard, I'm definitely going to want to pay up for some studs, and I like the Harden pay up for today. You have Karis LeVert. Don't mind him with all the injuries. 7,800 is price where he should be. He can definitely pay off that salary, but it's not like he's facing a very easy and very fast-paced matchup. The Magic play slow. They're very good defensively. You have a couple others that look decent here, like Dylan Brooks is 5,100. I wish it was a little bit cheaper, but you could look his way if you want. I think he looks way better on FanDuel at his cheap price point. They could play Dante DiVincenzo at point guard, but I would still like George Hill at $1,100 savings. And that's kind of it. There's not anybody that I'm going nuts over, like below 3,500. The pay up for me is going to be Harden. I like paying up for Harden today. He looked very motivated and he's been playing a lot in the scrimmages more than any other player on the team. Played 35 minutes in one of the scrimmage games, so he is going to be out there probably for like 35, 36 minutes. The Rockets have some seeding, these games are important for them for seeding purposes. So because they Harden play a lot and the Rockets Mavericks games popped off earlier, I think it can pop off again, and that's why small forward, pay up for Luka Doncic, run it back with a Harden Luka Doncic stack. I think you're going to be liking how your lineups look with those two in there. You have DeRozan at 77 without Aldridge, who is out with a season-ending surgery. I think it was his shoulder, if I'm not mistaken. Middleton is decent, 75, but I would definitely like paying up for Luka a little bit more or going up to Giannis. And then no interest in Jonathan Isaac. If he starts, I guess I might have some interest, but probably not because I don't think he's going to play enough. And if he comes off the bench, then not enough to pay off 5,800. And that is kind of it for the pay-ups at small forward. For value, you have Troy Brown Jr. at 4,700, who should get good minutes with the Wizards missing so many players. And you have Lonnie Walker at 3,200. He's been starting in the scrimmages, and with all the injuries on the Spurs as well, and now that Bryn Forbes is out too, he could get good minutes in the 30s, and I think he looks like a good value play. At power forward, I'll probably skip this position, but I'll just touch on it. Giannis, if you're not paying up for one of Harden or Luka, I will probably try to pay up for 2 out of the 3 of Luka, Harden, or Giannis. I think it's pretty easy to get 2 out of the 3 in their lineup with the value that we have on the slate. So not a ton that there's not a ton of pay up options besides Giannis at this position. Covington is good at 6,100. You have not really interested in Bielitsa. Scroll down, then it kind of just drops off pretty much. There's not a lot to like at this position, which is why I will probably said I'll skip it, but I was gonna play this guy at forward anyway. Rodions Kuruks at 3,300. Kuruks is probably my best value play at power forward, and a position that's not super deep to start with. I think it makes sense to pay down. He is only 3,300. He's going to be starting at power forward with the injuries on the Nets, and Crawford is also doubtful, so there's not that many options on the team. And he can have some decent games. He does like to shoot. If he's going to start and play like 30 minutes, then I think I have no problem, no concern that he won't pay off 3,300. And I think he can get you like 7, 8x upside, maybe even like 10x if he has a very good shooting day. At center, I'm looking at Vucevic, 8,500. You can play him at center, but I like a couple cheap centers that I like a lot, like Yusuf Nurkic, 5,900. That's crazy. I know he's coming off an injury and he might not get like 35 minutes right out of the gate, but he's been playing pretty well in the scrimmages and playing decent. No interest in Whiteside now that Nurkic is back. But he played 27 minutes in one of the scrimmages, put up 17, 13, 5, 2, and 2. He's super active when he's out there on the court. Is super active and gets you the rebounds, gets you blocks, steals, all that good stuff. He gets putbacks. He's just all over the court when he's out there. And if he even plays 25 minutes at 5,900, he should pay off his salary. So give me Yusuf Nurkic, 59. That is just incredibly cheap. And last but not least, it's Jakob Poeltl, 47. He's going to start without Aldridge. They're also missing Trey Lyles, so they're very thin in the front court. Should get you very good minutes at center. We know Popovich does like to mess with things, and just sometimes he can get popped and just have him play 5, 10 minutes, which I think it happened earlier this year where he was starting and didn't play that much. But they don't really have that many options unless they want to play like Czech Medu or whoever else they have, like Drew Eubanks. So Poeltl should play it, and she'll play a lot in a matchup against Richaun Holmes. It's a size advantage for him, and a matchup against Harry Giles looks pretty good for him. So I like Poeltl, I like Nurkic a lot. Both can crush and get you like 40 fantasy points on their own. And the Luka Harden pay up options, they look pretty good. So still leaves you 5,400 left. It's kind of the build that I'm looking at for Draftkings for this afternoon. And then I will go ahead and touch on Fanduel because they also have some awesome tournaments today. Okay, on Fanduel, looking at the positions, point guard, Westbrook is 98. Pretty decent price tag for him, but you have Damian Lillard, 8,900. That's crazy. Definitely looking great. You have Ja Morant at 63. That looks pretty enticing compared to 7,000 on DraftKings, which I still like, but 63 on FanDuel, that should have no problem for him hitting value. You have no interest in Chicoza at 56. He's priced up. And for value, not really think I'll go super cheap besides George Hill at 38. So those are some of the point guards that I'm looking at. I think all things considered, you gotta really like Ja Morant at 6,300. That's just really cheap. At shooting guard, Probably will get to one of Luka or James Harden here. Maybe if I can. LeVert is 8,200. That's decent. I don't know if he's gonna. It's good just because they're missing so many players, but if the matchup is definitely a little scary. They play super slow. Orlando does, and they're very good defensively. You could look at Chris Middleton, 71. I think he looks decent. And then there's quite a bit of value here. Dylan Brooks is 4,300. Like, I'm a pretty big Dylan Brooks fan, at least earlier in the year when he was popping off, and then ever since he got that extension, he was playing like crap, and now he's starting to look decent in the scrimmages. So hopefully, he can turn his season around. So 43 for him is a tremendous value. And then 38 for Lonnie Walker looks very good as well. But gonna pay up for one of these studs, and it's gonna be for Luka Doncic. Small forward, Giannis looks incredible at 10-7. The position is also not very deep, so if you're not paying up for Giannis, you don't really have that many pay-up options. It drops by $4,000 to Gordon Hayward. There is quite a bit of decent value plays here, like 4,800 for Barnes is decent, but I think 4,700 for Rudy Gay is going to look good. He's probably going to be in the closing lineup with no Lyles and no Aldridge and no Bryn Forbes. I could see him closing over one of like Lonnie Walker or Derek White. So he looks decent, 4,700. He should still get good minutes off the bench, at least in the first couple games when the Spurs are still fighting for something. Troy Brown, 46. He looks good. If he's super popular, just go up to Rudy Gay, and hopefully Rudy Gay can outscore him because Troy Brown is not very consistent if you have been following him. And that is kind of it. Daniel House, 4,000 is decent too, but it's tough to trust anybody else on the Rockets besides like Harden and Westbrook and Covington at times, just because they don't get a very high usage rate. But I think I'll pay up for Giannis here at small forward. No Bledsoe's going to help him as well. At power forward, position that I'll probably pay down for a little bit. I like Covington a lot at 5,800 on Fanduel. He gets you those extra points for blocks and steals, which is massive. You have Jaren Jackson at 4,700. That looks appealing. Kurucs is questionable. I mean, he's probable. He should play. I don't really have that much concern. And it's a 2:30 game, so we're going to know first game of the slate, so you don't have to worry about it. But 43 for him starting. I think he looks pretty good. Holmes, 3,900. Don't know how many minutes he's going to play, but he should still play a decent amount to pay off that salary if you want to play Rashawn Holmes. But I feel decent about Kurucs just because they're super thin in the front court as well. And last but not least, at center, Vucevic, 83, decent as a pay-up option. FanDuel priced up Nurkic, so I'm not really interested at 7,200 Nurkic. Much different than a 5,900 Nurkic. And I will go down on center. I'm looking at Pirtle. 4,200 is just really, really nice. I like him a ton. So those are the 5 that I'm paying up for on FanDuel or playing on FanDuel. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for watching. It is 7:45 a.m. on the East Coast, so we still got a decent amount of time before lock. So make your final lineups, hopefully get your good ones in, and hopefully somebody can take down a lot of money. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you maybe this afternoon for baseball. If not, then tomorrow morning.